love the festival because I always run into people, actors and directors that I really admire. I also love the city, Toronto. I've worked here twice. I did Mama and Crimson Peak here. So yeah, I think I've had a film here every year for 4 years, which it always makes me really happy to come back.
Yeah, it's just a great lineup, really. And so for all those things are true, you know, the people that you run into, you know, the films that you see, the buzz that's going on, the excitement, you know, it's thrilling. It's just a thrilling festival to be at.
I've always been a huge fan of films about space, but I didn't really know a lot about it, and I didn't know a lot about NASA, so I definitely did my homework before we started.
Yeah, I definitely was. I mean, I grew up with Apollo 13 and Event Horizon and all those movies. So, and I actually wanted to be an astronaut for a tiny bit of time in high school. So, it was pretty. Yeah, it was a neat coming around to that old dream, I guess.
Well, I didn't get a call that said Ridley Scott once for the movie. It was more like, do you want to meet with Ridley for the film? Because, you know, who knows? Maybe Ridley meets me and then goes, "Oh, she's terrible. Let's not put her in the movie."
Yeah.
But I was really excited by it because also I just done Interstellar and I become really interested in space exploration, and I knew that to play an astronaut, it would kind of open the doors at NASA, and my inner geek would fly, and I would learn so much. So I was very excited.
Yeah. Similarly, you know, I went to meet Ridley. I've known Ridley for a long time, and from American Gangster days, and so I was really excited to talk to him about it and to work with him. He's a genius, you know, and so it's always a kind of incredible experience. You're always going to learn so much and gain so much from working with someone like that.
Well, I haven't seen it yet with all the effects. I'm really excited to see it tonight. I saw an early cut of the film, but still had wires in it, and you know they hadn't quite finished everything. One thing it was really exciting for me to see because it's like 3 different movies. You have, you know, Matt on Mars, and then you have NASA, and then you have also what's happening on Hermes. So it was wonderful to sit there and go, this is what they did. Because actually when we made this film, I wasn't around you guys at all.
Yeah, no, that's true. Yeah.
And it was filmed like, okay, you guys first, then we came in, and then Matt finished.
Yeah.
And that was the most exciting thing, is to see all the performances. And also, Matt kills it. He's really
brilliant.
funny.
Yeah.
Sure, yeah. Well, I can do better than that. I can tell you exactly what I was thinking. I feel like I got to some of the more important questions. And not the answers, but definitely things that just kept me up at night.
Go on.
How come Aquaman can control whales? I mean, whales are mammals. Doesn't even make sense.
I'd say the most challenging part of it was when we were shooting the big storm sequence and wearing those suits were really heavy. I think they were like 30 pounds and very
the
uncomfortable.
helmets particularly, yeah.
Yeah, I learned on this film. I definitely learned that I could not. I would never make it as an astronaut. It's a lot of willpower. I mean, there's a lot of elements in there, and obviously we were playing. It was make believe for us, but the claustrophobia and the nausea.
I also remember us like kind of laughing, thinking about Michael Pena being stranded on Mars and like what that would be like how
being
long
stranded with Michael Pena.
Yeah.
On Mars would be really
a lot
interesting.
Of fun, probably for about an hour.
Yeah. Well, we bonded very quickly because I think one of the first things we shot was the storm sequence, and you're wearing those helmets and you can't hear anybody else except each other because we're wired to hear each other, and so there were days on end of us all and we would have to. Putting the costumes on would take 20 minutes, so we'd all have to plan our pee breaks and our like coffee breaks because if one person had to go, that was like a 30-minute wait. So we'd all go together.
It was kind of funny because we would all be spaced out like throughout the set and be able to talk to each other. And,
spaced out.
You know, yeah.
I mean, it's. I do think, like you, it's so incredibly courageous what these people do and what they're prepared to do and to sacrifice for exactly that, for the new frontier. And you know, and actually just working with people who talk about and the distinction people who are assisting that process. You know, I think that's something that I found really engaging. And if I was, you know, 100 times smarter, I would love to be involved in something like that, but I'm not. Just to be clear.
We're just actors. We're not smart enough to go to space.
Or help
You don't want
anybody.
us out there.